Hi, first grade. Today we will be doing the final lesson in topic 13, 13.5. Next week, Miss Barnes and I are going to open up the test, and you will have multiple days to finish the test, and we will be assigning some fun games for you to practice counting coins and telling time. So just be on the lookout for next week when we open up the test. But let's get started on the lesson for today, which is tell and write time to the half an hour. And so yesterday we learned about how to tell time to the hour on two different types of clocks. Now we're going to look at telling time to the half hour. Your video is loading.
There are 60 minutes in an hour. So half an hour is 30 minutes. Where is the minute hand pointing?
So remember, our minute hand is the long hand, and it is currently pointing at the 6.
The minute hand is on 6. What does this show?
So we are going to look and make some observations about this clock before we move on. So I see our hour hand, our short hour hand, is not quite on the 2, and it's not quite on the 3. And usually when we were looking at our clock yesterday, it would be right on a number. And all of our minute hands yesterday were pointing at the 12, and today it's pointing at the 6. 12 meant o'clock, so I wonder what it'll mean when it's on the 6. What do you think it means?
You can say it is 30 minutes or half past the hour. Where is the hour hand?
Select your answer.
So when the minute hand is pointing at the 6, we can say it's half past or it's 30. Now, where is the hour hand? Is it on the 2? Not quite. Is it at the 3? Not really. Is it between 2 and 3? Looks like it to me, but to double check, I'm going to read all of my answers. And is it at the 6? No, the minute hand is at the 6. So our answer is going to be our hour hand is in between the 2 and the 3.
The hour hand is between 2 and 3. Think about why it points between those numbers. It takes the hour hand a whole hour to travel from one number to the next. After a half hour, the hour hand has traveled halfway to the 3. Compare the two kinds of clocks. The minute hand points to the 6. What numbers show minutes on the digital clock?
Select your answer.
So when we look at our digital clock, we know that this spot before the 2 dots or the colon is the hour, and over here is the minutes. When we were looking at hours, it would say 2:00, and we knew that meant 2 o'clock. To match our analog clock, the minute hand is now on the 6, or the 30, or half past, or the half hour. So our minutes say 30.
The number after the dots shows minutes. The digital clock shows 30 minutes. What time do both clocks show?
So if we read our analog clock, our hand is between our 2 and our 3. It's not to the 3 yet, so we're going to say it's 2:30 because we know our 6 means 30 or half past. So it's half past past 2 or 2:30?
It is 2:30 or 2:30. Now you know how to tell the time to the half hour on 2 kinds of clocks. You also know how to write the time to the half hour.
All right, let's get started on some of those practice problems. All right, we're going to look at our clock, write the numbers to complete each sentence, then write the time on the other clock. So I'm going to look at my short hour hand, and I see it's past the 7, but before the 8. So the hour hand is in between 7 and 8. Our minute hand, our long minute hand, is pointing at the 6. We know that when our minute hand is pointing at the 6, it means 30 or half past. So the time is 7:30. Number 2, the hour hand is between what numbers? Look at the clock and look where your short hour hand is pointing between. Your hour hand is between 4 and 5. Where's your minute hand pointing? Our long minute hand is pointing at the 6. So to tell what time it is, it's not to the 5 yet, so I'm going to go back to the 4 and say it is 4:30 or half past 4. All right, let's look here. We're going to do the same steps. We're going to look for our short hour hand and what number it's in between. I see that the hour hand is in between 8 and 9. So I know that it's not to the 9 yet, so it's 8. And our minute hand, our long minute hand, is pointing towards the 6, which means 30 or half past. What time is it on our clocks? It is 8:30 or half past 8. Next, we're going to look again for our short hour hand, our short hour hand. What numbers is it pointing between? The hour hand is in between 5 and 6. So it's 5. And our long minute hand is pointing at the 6, which means half past or 30. So to read our clocks, it is 5:30 or half past 5. Let's look at this clock. Where is your hour hand pointing? What numbers is it in between? I see that it's in between 12 and 1. So I'm going to write my 12. Where's my minute hand pointing? It is pointing at the 6, which means 30 or half past. It is 12:30 or half past 12. Now, number 6 is a pattern problem like we looked at yesterday. So let's look at the pattern and write the missing times. 6 o'clock, 6:30. 7 o'clock, blink. 8 o'clock, blink. Blink. So I notice between these numbers that it's going up by half an hour. So 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7. So I know next would be 7:30. Gotta draw my column. So 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. What do you think would come next? I see that it would start with an 8. And then we'd write 8:30. So our pattern would go 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Next, what would come next? After 8:30, we move to 9 o'clock. I'm running out of space. They didn't give me a whole lot of room. All right, next we have a new pattern set. 2:30, 3:30, blank, 4:30, blank, blank. So I noticed between these two numbers that it's moving up by an hour on the 30. So 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. My dots didn't appear. So I want you to think about what would come here. Listen to the pattern again. 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. What could come next in our pattern if it's moving up by an hour each time? 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. What would be the final part of our pattern? 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. Let's move on our clock. 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. Good job. Carlos plays basketball for 30 minutes each day. He always starts playing at 1/2 an hour. Write times he might start and stop playing basketball. Draw the hands on the clock to show the times. So if he starts playing at 1/2 an hour and he plays for 30 minutes, I know that our problem is telling us that we have to start at 1/2 an hour. And he's only going to play for 30 minutes or half an hour. So if Carlos goes to school and then he comes home and plays basketball, he might start playing basketball at 3:30. So I'm going to draw my hour hand in between my 3 and my 4 because it's 1/2. And I'm going to take my long minute hand and make it to the 6. He starts playing at 3:30. If he only plays for 30 minutes, I know that it just moves the minute hand to up here. If I move my minute hand to our o'clock or 12, our hour hand will move all the way to 4. So 30 minutes past 3:30 is 4 o'clock. So I'm going to draw my short hour hand to my 4 and my long minute hand to our 12 or o'clock. All right, first grade, you have finished this lesson. So log into pearsonrealize.com and you have 3 things that you are going to do on Pearson today. You are going to do the quick check for 13.5. You are also going to do the interactive practice buddy for 13.5. And Miss Barnes and I gave you an extra quick check to check how you're doing with word problems, and that's 5.6. So you're doing quick check 13.5, interactive practice buddy 13.5, and quick check 5.6. So be sure that you are checking for all of those things and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Bye.